They call it the Blackwood House. It stands on a hill overlooking the town, a skeletal silhouette against the bruised purple of twilight. All the locals will tell you it's empty, and has been for decades. But I knew better. My name is Leo, and I'm what you might call an urban explorer. I seek out the forgotten, the places that time has left behind. The Blackwood House, that was my Everest. I picked the lock on the heavy oak door with surprising ease. A gust of stale, musty air immediately greeted me, thick with the scent of decay and something else, something faintly sweet, like wilted flowers. My flashlight beam cut through the oppressive darkness, dancing over furniture draped in white sheets, like ghostly figures waiting in the gloom. Dust motes swirled in the light, like tiny, frantic spirits disturbed from their slumber. The ground floor was pretty standard fare for a place like this. A grand foyer with a sweeping staircase, a cavernous living room with a cold, soot-stained fireplace, a kitchen frozen sometime in the mid-20th century. It was all eerily quiet. The only sounds were the creak of floorboards under my boots and the frantic thumping of my own heart. But there was something else. I felt a constant, prickling sensation on the back of my neck, that undeniable feeling of being watched. I started making my way up the winding staircase, my hand trailing along the dusty, splintered banister. The second floor was a labyrinth of bedrooms. The first one I entered was a child's room. A single rocking horse stood right in the center, and its painted eyes seemed to follow my light. Yeah, I gave that a wide berth. The next room was the master bedroom, a huge four-poster bed dominating the space. A thick layer of dust covered everything. Yet on the vanity table, a silver-backed brush and comb set gleamed as if they'd been recently polished. A chill snaked its way down my spine. This wasn't just dust and decay. There was a profound wrongness here. And then I found the diary. It was tucked away in a drawer of a bedside table. In the last bedroom at the very end of the hall, it was a small, leather-bound book, its pages brittle with age. The handwriting inside was elegant, loopy cursive. It belonged to a woman named Elora Blackwood, and it was dated in 1928. At first, her entries were mundane. Elora wrote about her husband, William, about parties, about the town, but soon, the tone started to shift. She began to write about loneliness. William was often away on business trips. The house was too big, too quiet. She started hearing things, whispers in the walls, footsteps in the empty halls late at night. She thought she was going mad. The house breathes. One entry read, "I hear its great, slow breaths in the dead of night. It is a living thing, and I fear it does not like me." Her entries became more and more frantic. She started writing about a presence, a shadow she'd glimpsed from the corner of her eye. She called it the Watcher. It never did anything. Who's to observe it? Its presence was a constant, cold pressure. William dismissed her fears as simple hysteria. He even bought her a music box to soothe her nerves. I had seen that same music box. It was on the mantelpiece in the master bedroom. It was made of porcelain, with a delicate ballerina on top. Against my better judgment, I wound the key. A tinkling, discordant melody filled the oppressive silence. The sound was horribly out of place, a cheerful little tune in a house full of sorrow. And as the very last note faded away, I heard it, a faint, dragging sound from the hallway. Scrape. 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 My blood ran cold. I instantly switched off my flashlight, plunging the room into absolute darkness. My heart hammered against my ribs, a drumbeat of pure, unadulterated terror. I held my breath, just listening. The scraping grew louder, closer. It was coming from the end of the hall, near the room where I had found the diary. I crept to the bedroom door, my eye pressed against the keyhole. The hallway was just a sliver of gray in the moonlight that filtered through a grimy window. Then, a shape emerged from the shadows. It was tall and impossibly thin, and it moved with a lurching, unnatural gait. It wasn't walking. It was dragging itself. Its limbs were too long, bent at angles that were grotesquely wrong. I couldn't see a face, only a dark, shifting mass where a head should be. This was the Watcher. I backed away from the door, my mind just screaming. This wasn't a ghost. This was something else. Something corporeal and monstrous. I had to get out. Right Now. I fumbled for the door handle, my hands slick with sweat. I couldn't go into the hall. Not with that thing out there. My eyes darted around the room, desperately searching for another way out. The window? It was my only chance. As I moved towards it, a floorboard shrieked under my weight. The scraping in the hall stopped. Silence. A heavy, pregnant silence that was somehow more terrifying than the noise it replaced. I froze. Every muscle in my body tensed. I could feel its attention on me, a physical weight pressing in from the other side of the door. Then came a new sound, a soft, wet clicking. Click, 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 like long nails, tapping against wood. It was at the door. Ilara's last diary entries flashed in my mind. It has no face. She'd written in a frantic, almost illegible scrawl on the final page. But it has a smile, all teeth. I see it in the dark. It wants to get in. It wants to wear my skin. The doorknob began to turn. Slowly. Excruciatingly, slowly. I didn't wait. I scrambled to the window, my fingers fumbling with the rusted latch. It wouldn't budge. I slammed my shoulder against it, again and again, grunting with effort and pure fear. The wood groaned in protest. The doorknob clicked as the lock disengaged. With one final, desperate shove, the window latch broke, and the window swung open with a mournful creak. I didn't hesitate. I threw myself out, landing hard on the porch roof below with a jarring impact that shot pain up my leg. I ignored it, scrambling on all fours to the edge and dropping the 10 feet to the overgrown lawn below. I landed in a heap, the breath completely knocked out of me. I pushed myself up, ignoring the searing pain in my ankle, and I ran. I ran without looking back, fueled by a primal terror I had never known in my entire life. I didn't stop until the Blackwood House was just a dark shape on the horizon and the sounds of the town finally reached my ears. I never went back. I never told anyone the full story of what happened that night. They wouldn't believe me anyway, but sometimes, late at night when my own house is quiet, I can still hear it. That soft, wet clicking, and I see that smile. All teeth, waiting in the dark. The Blackwood House is not empty. There's something living there. And it's watching. It's always watching. Thanks for listening. And if you enjoy these kinds of stories, make sure to subscribe for more.